Main Source Real Estate presents Real Estate Horror Stories, Tales of the Disturbing and the Deceitful. Today's story is the tale of Miss Wanda Hill, and this is a story of listening to experts with no expertise. Wanda inherited her parents' property, which was the home that she grew up in. She eventually connected to a lady who said that she could help her with some bad loans that she was going to eventually help modify into some more manageable terms. Next, the lady ended up renting out the home from Wanda, and she eventually convinced her to allow her daughter and son-in-law and their kids move into the house. The lady ended up proposing a deal where her daughter and son-in-law would purchase the house from Wanda. Once all the negotiations were settled, the lady had Miss Wanda sign some paperwork, and little did she know she was actually signing over interest in her property for $0. Miss Hill eventually contacted me and asked me to look over some paperwork, and what we discovered is that she indeed signed a grant deed transferring half of the property to the daughter and son-in-law. Miss Hill ended up hiring an attorney who discovered the fraud and ended up unraveling all the mess. We also discovered that the lady convinced Wanda to invest in some other real estate deals. But again, the paperwork did not support what she was told. In the end, she ended up losing several hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity and attorney and court costs. None of the other deals worked out. All money invested into the properties was lost, and Miss Wanda's perfect credit score of 850 was down the drain. Wanda went from a property with very little debt to one that had a lot of debt and on the brink of foreclosure that she really wanted to pass on to her son. She's still dealing with this problem to today, and I'm very curious to see how this ends up for her. She went from a property with very little debt with the idea to pass on to her son, with now on the brink of foreclosure with no end in sight. This was just one bad move after another. This is an example of listening to experts with no expertise. In other words, do your homework. Today's story is an example of what not to do. Some words of caution so these tales don't find themselves in your world. Create a plan today. Hire a good attorney as soon as possible. Get a will, trust, or some type of estate plan so you can transfer your assets when you or your loved ones pass away. They say if you fail to plan, you may as well plan to fail. Until next time.